What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 17th of May today. Here we are at about 15 cents on the dot. I believe that we are very near, if not at, our low in this range. I don't believe that what we're seeing here is some kind of M pattern, although it has that look. I will admit it has that look. I think really what we're in is some kind of horizontal channel. And if we are in a horizontal channel, we're at the base of this channel here. We're likely finding support here at the same area that we found support before, resistance before, support here, resistance there, resistance there, resistance there, support there. It's just a significant area all the time around this 15-cent zone here. If we're looking at this from a relative high to a low, the all-time high that we had back in January 10th, to the low there on April 9th, high to low, you're actually right in the middle of nowhere as far as fibs go. But consolidating around the 382 like this is nice. Generally speaking, with the 382, you pull back to the 236. So getting this kind of consolidation, we were excited back here that we'd move up because we didn't hit the 236, but we're still in that same kind of phase of excitement. We're just at lower prices now. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. As far as the coming weeks are concerned, as far as the coming months are concerned, this is probably the most ideal area to buy Cookie DAO. And unfortunately, and I was just explaining this logic on my XCN video, most people are probably going to sell here. You would think that most people, like at the lows, that's where a lot of buying is going on. That's what's holding up the price, right? Intuitively, you might think that, but the reality of the matter is actually a lot of selling goes on at the lows. Most people sell at the lows. Most people do buy the highs. That's what happens. That's the psychology of how these dynamics are at play, right? Because when all the sellers sell, that's when your low is there. When all the buyers buy, that's when your high is there, right? Whenever you have no more buyers, you start to move down. When you have no more sellers, you start to move up. So it makes sense that the most amount of buyers would come in at the top, the most amount of sellers would come in at the lows, because, or at least the last bit anyways. It's in that finale phase. But 15 cents right now, I don't believe that we go lower. I don't believe it at all. But if we do go lower, 12.7 cents, 12.69 cents would be the area that we find support at. That's the 236 there. And it's totally fine if we do. I don't think we go there, but we could. And if we do, it's fine. I do think that this is an area that we find support on. I'm calling it right now. This is the low. We're finding support here right at 15 cents. If you were to buy here, you're killing it. You're pulling a genius move. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It's just my thoughts. And genuinely, we're going to rip right up to the golden ratio here at about 32.6 to 39 cents, somewhere there at a minimum. If we don't stop there, we likely will continue to the 786, 886 zone. I'm more of a fan of the 786 just because of how low we are in the retracements. Typically, you don't break through your golden ratio on the first attempt. Typically, you'll find resistance on the first attempt and then try again later, and then that on the second attempt is whenever you break through, not the first attempt. But in moments like this where you consolidate real nice and tight to your 382, you don't interact with the 236, these are the moments where we do break through the golden ratios. So being this low below the 382, I would think we don't hit the 886, but maybe we do see the 786, and that's all the way at about 50 cents. And then, of course, there's this weird thing going on with crypto that I've noticed. A lot of coins have been breaking through their golden ratio on the first attempt, but instead of hitting the 786, they'll fall shy of it. Whether it's moving up or it's moving down, same kind of idea. They'll fall just shy of the 786. So if that 786 is there at 50 cents, I would say anything between 50 to 32.6 cents is a likely destination. We're at 15 cents now. You've got some immaculate growth to be had, and the reality of the matter is, if I was to be wrong on this, the only way that I see myself being wrong is not that we're at lower prices. It's only that we're at higher prices, right? Maybe this thing's more bullish than I'm giving it credit for. It's got a low market cap. There's a lot of volume coming in on this thing daily, even whenever it's being boring, right? We've been boring over this past week now, and Cookie DAO, $12.8 million in volume on a $77 million market cap. That's a lot of volume, you guys. That is a lot of volume. And on a day here, if we're looking at Bybit, which has some of the most volume for Cookie, there's really not that much volume at all. Very, very low levels of volume, and this is what like the average is. That's not bad at all. We absolutely could rip through the roof. We might see something that's more phenomenal than I'm giving it credit for. Whenever we were in this exact same area last time, it took us a week just to move all the way up to about 66 cents. So by the end of the month, we really could be at new all-time highs or around there at least. I am expecting that we'll be somewhere around 50 cents by the end of the month, but much higher than that I can't really see, at least at the moment. But maybe I'm not bullish enough. Maybe I'm genuinely not bullish enough. Time will tell. Whenever we do move to higher prices, whenever we do see new all-time highs, the minimum expectation from here would be about 16.5 cents. That's about 11x from here, right? 16.5 minimum expectation. We could stop there. I don't think we do. Maximum expectation is $3.88, and that's about a 25x. That's nice, but again, I don't think that we stop there. We could, but I don't think we do. I think we stop somewhere in the middle, probably just above the 1414. It's very common to go just above the 1414, not stop at it, right? Oftentimes you do wick just above it, so that would provide about a 17x at $2.56. Something around 250 is what I'm anticipating ultimately. But again, I might not be bullish enough. Who knows, man? This thing could rip all the way up to $7.50, $10, something in that range. Maybe we get like a 50, 60x. I don't know, but it's definitely looking good overall. We've got this daily RSI that's getting lower lows, low here, lower low, lower low. All you've got is higher lows, or at least a flat base here. That's nothing to be ashamed of. You're moving down without volume. In fact, volume's dying off as you're moving down. That's something to get excited about and consider that, you know, this might be a good buying area. 4-hour RSI here is in a downtrend. And generally speaking, with downtrends in the RSI or uptrends, you end those once you get into your respective zones, oversold or overbought. This doesn't mean that you have to move, that you can't move down lower. You absolutely can. It's just you're probably near, if not at the base right now, right? If you do go lower in price, I would expect it's like one little quick wick, something like this wick here or that wick there, right? It's like you're consolidating in this area, but you get your one quick wick and then you're done, right? Something like that could happen. 1-hour RSI looking like you got some bullish divergence. Moving down, volume's dying off, bullish divergence. I don't think you're going to get the chance to move lower, man. I think that's it. 15 cents was it, man. If you didn't buy there at 14.69 cents, you're getting 6.9, which is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Not in today's day and age. Let's see here. Is there anything else to go off of? I think I've said everything that I need to say. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. You know, if in a day and 9 hours, if we close around here, I wouldn't mind that. We're closing right at the 50. We found support at the 40 on the weekly RSI. If we pull back and find support at the 50, that would just be icing on the cake. But we don't need to. We can pull up and not bounce off the 50 by the end of this week if we really want to. But I got nothing else for you guys, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.